This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this is your Bloody Happy Hour. Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody happy hour.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
Or exclusive merch.
exclusive merch. You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows, but also bonus episodes each month. But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
Because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/bloodyhappyhour.
Okay.
Motherfucker. That was my laugh.
Do you hear yourself when you laugh like that on the videos?
I do it.
On the podcast. All right, here we go. Hey y'all, this is April.
Oh, and this is Caroline.
Thirsty Thursday. Bloody happy hour.
I'm so thirsty, but I'm not because my thirst has been quenched with my Bombay Sapphire. You didn't know you were going to get a song.
And Gatorade.
Wow, we must have had... We must have some good Bombay Sapphire because we are just feeling ourselves right now. Yeah, so we're hydrating and we're drinking. Hydrate and drink. And hydrate and drink.
Goodness. Good Bombay stuff. If you haven't listened to Tuesday's episode, go back and listen to it.
Oh, you don't want to miss it.
We went to all the corners.
We went to 14 corners. And
True Crime Corner, Controversy
True Crime
Corner,
Popcorn Corner, Controversy Corner, Political Corner, lol. Not really, but kind of.
Well, yes. I'm excited to know what...
Do you want to... Wait, first of all, let me tell you about my little extravaganza today. Now, you know I have a child. His name is Parker, and he is a 4.5-pound Yorkie, and he's my child. And I'm going to tell you the story right now, so if you don't want to hear it, you fast forward for 5 minutes, because I'm telling you it.
Oh, is it a
it's
5-minute story?
No, it's probably 3, but I just wanted to make them kind of go. Anyways. He had pancreatitis a couple of months ago, and now this shithead decided he was going to try to maybe get it again. But I had to just prevent it because I know the signs.
Did you change his food since the last time?
No.
So you weren't proactive? I
Wait.
thought we discovered
No,
that
no,
his food caused
No,
it.
yeah. Well, no, they said, they're like, did he get in the trash? And I was like, he's a tiny little 4-pound Yorkie. No, he did not get into my trash.
It's basically made of trash.
I know. So listen, give me your recipe because because I was doing the canned chicken, but then I was like, well, you have to add the dry food because they need the fiber. But maybe I need the rice for the fiber.
Yes, brown rice, chicken, and peas and carrots.
Just tell me exactly how to do it, and I'm going to that's all. Because then they're like, oh, he's going to need this special digestive canned food stuff that
$50,000.
Probably. So, anyways, just $400 later. That's what happens.
Parker. Y'all better pray for Parker because if Parker goes to glory, Bloody Happy Hour will be over.
Bloody Happy Hour was going to be done
Yup,
for
just
at
gonna
least
tell y'all now.
months, or you will be getting real bad episodes because I'll be on full different. Anyway, today we're talking about some scams or
Okay.
just a scam.
I was scammed today.
Oh, yeah, you were. And I was scammed as well. But let's tell me about your scam.
Mine's not as big as yours.
Just tell me a little bit about your scam
Well,
to get us ready for this
You know the
big
Stanley
scam.
Cups that you love?
Oh, yeah, I do.
So a friend of mine was like, hey, I know you don't want a Stanley Cup, but they're only $5.99 on these Brad's deals, and I should have known.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, I'll send you the link so you can.
Wait, did you say Brad's deals?
Brad's deals, yes.
Like
And so
BRAD?
Yes, which it's just like this page where they give you like all these codes. So you click on it and it takes you to Bed Bath & Beyond, and they're closing. So they're like, everything is, so much
Well,
off.
which they're not closing because now they're going to overstock.
Well, the website said the Bed Bath & Beyond's closing. And so they had them marked down to $5.99. So I was like, oh, I'd buy one for $5.99. And
Yeah,
here, I'll
I'd
get
buy
some
at
for
least
Christmas
5.
presents.
Hell yeah.
Paid, done. Then your transaction says, which they are made in Hong Kong. So then I was like, oh, not a
yeah.
big deal.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Hong Kong?
Except for it's not Bed Bath & Beyond in Hong Kong. It's like some weird Hong Kong shop. So I had to cancel my card, and I couldn't
Wait,
buy
but
alcohol.
what happened? Why did your transaction didn't go through?
Well, I went to TikTok because other people bought it, and they were like, my bank declined it because they said it was fraud. And
wait, at what point were you feeling weird about it that you needed to go to TikTok?
When somebody
Because TikTok's from China, so it's a whole thing. It's a whole scam.
when somebody said my bank didn't do it because it said it was fraud because it's in Hong Kong, so it's likely a scam. And I was like, the damn cups are made in Hong Kong. Of course it's going to do it, right?
Yeah.
And then I was researching. I was like, well, TikTok will tell me. And TikTok, so you had all these women say, don't fall for the Stanley Cup $5.99 sale. I was like, well, hell. So I had to call my bank and
all
cancel it.
people, you are the one. And you don't.
But I listened to my friend who won't even like buy anywhere online because she's so careful about that. And I was like, oh, if she did it, then surely
she set you up for failure.
I know.
I think you need to cancel
It's
your
like,
friend.
but you can't get mad at me for ordering from Temu. Temu's not a scam.
The hell's Temu? Oh
Look
my
it
God.
up.
Just go to Shein. There, you'll get some good quality products from Shein.
Anyways, where are we going?
Well, we're going to San Jose.
Oh,
Yep.
California.
That would be you are correct.
put
But
on my
let's start
headphones?
this out with a little bit of a Nancy Grace clippity clip.
A brand new blog.
Listen.
A brand new blog popped up on a website called Blogspot. The homepage heading was simple: My story, our journey. A post appeared.
What the heck is Hodgkin's lymphoma? My goal with this blog is to not only keep friends and family in the loop, but serve as a resource to all those newly diagnosed. Doctors don't provide great detailed information, and the internet is not your friend when you're diagnosed with the disease. I have Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it's been quite the journey to figure it out.
The author, Amanda C. Riley.
Now listen. If you have not listened to the podcast, Scamanda.
I haven't.
Okay. Well, you're already gonna be spoiled. This is your spoiler alert. Because I'm gonna kind of spoil it for you.
Okay.
But I'm telling everybody else, I'm gonna spoil it for you, but you still can listen to this and then go listen to the whole podcast, because I'm just giving you
The meat and potatoes.
and they will got the juicy bits. But this is about a scam
Artist
artist named Amanda. And this just came out in I think May 15th, and it came out first like 4 episodes, and then
It's new?
Oh, it's new. Yeah.
But it's an old case. Somebody faked.
Yes.
Okay.
It happened it started in like 2012, happened, and then it came to a close in last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the research and all the things, came back, and here we are. So, Scamanda, if you don't want to be spoiled too much, go listen to the podcast called Scamanda, or you can still listen to this and then go listen. You won't be spoiled at all. It's fine. So, this is a story about a person who has Hodgkin's lymphoma. Or does she? So we have, it all started with an anonymous tip that was sent to an investigative reporter, a lady named Nancy, and she basically this lady emailed Nancy and was like, hey, this person I know, I think that she's faking her cancer, and here's her blog, here's her this. Do whatever you do as you're an investigative journalist.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, and like this is like 2012. Back in the day, this is before Instagram, before TikTok. I think we might have had Instagram, but I remember whenever I used to do blog posts, and I would blog about like nutrition stuff or whatever, fitness stuff. And so blogs is like, that was a thing. So that was like, you would blog and that your blog would go viral, because it was kind of like the MySpace days. It was probably like MySpace and blogging and whatever. And then later on would come Facebook and Twitter, whatever. So she started this blog, this girl, Amanda C. Riley. And this is whenever she starts to talk about her cancer journey. Okay, so she says her blog is titled Lymphoma Can Suck It. And she built this dedicated following. Like, she had so many people across social media following her about her battle with cancer, friends, family, everywhere. And there were people who were donating money to her, giving her like food, like all kinds of things. So for 7 years, so this is in 2012, for 7 years, she shared photos of her hospital stays. She wrote about her chemotherapy drugs that she was taking. She documented about her side effects. She showed when she lost her hair. She posted pictures of her shaved head. She was just so brave. She was so brave. And then she talked about how a miracle had happened, because she was cured. She beat cancer, but not only was she cured and the cancer was gone, but now after she has had chemotherapy and all these things, but now she's pregnant. Oh. And so she had her miracle baby.
Oh, gosh.
But it didn't last long, the happiness, because she relapsed. And then she was like, well, I have 2 or 3 months left. That's all I have left.
Oh, gosh.
2 or 3 months. And so she said that the lymphoma returned with a vengeance, and she was at stage 4 metastatic cancer. So her blog linked like a support page that said, it talked about her battle with cancer. It described like the diagnosis and how she was diagnosed in June 2012. It said that she was in remission before, and then like it returned. So she was like, she had the cancer, she got rid of it. She had it, she got rid of it. She had it multiple times, in and out. So she beat it like 24 times. She beat cancer like over and over and over and over and over. So, but she had all these rounds of chemotherapy, everything, and then she had been to Johns Johns Hopkins Hospital. She had these clickable links: donate now, support Amanda, help her with the battle with cancer, blah, blah, blah. She got money from people who were giving her checks, donating to her, that went to her personal account. She had like family members, and eventually whenever like Facebook and Instagram, all these other things started coming, like growing, she had donations from a Facebook challenge, a CrossFit fundraiser, Christmas ornament sale,
Wow.
restaurant fundraisers, calendar sales, eBay auctions. She had a guitar signed by Leanne Rimes,
Did she
John Michael
work?
Montgomery.
Did she work at all? Like, how did?
Well, she was a teacher for a little bit.
Okay. Why is that in quotes?
Well, because she was a teacher at a private school for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't know how, but then she automatically,
Oh.
I'm throwing things. She like ended up becoming a principal of the school. It's you got to go listen to the podcast for that part of it.
You don't know how you get a certification.
No, because apparently at these private schools you do not have to have some kind of certification.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So this podcast is okay, so we have this lady named Charlie Webster. She is the one who is the she's like narrating the podcast. She's the host. And she quotes and she says, "The psychology of what this woman did to manipulate and infiltrate her community using the power of social media is fascinating, and I know listeners will be enthralled by what unfolds in this series." And not only does she say those things, but she's from the UK, so she has this British accent.
Is that who we just heard?
No. Was that her that was talking?
She had an accent.
Oh yeah. So it's amazing. It's glorious to listen to. So let me tell you a little bit about her family. Okay. So she's 2012, she has this blog that she starts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she starts this blog. She's talking about everything, all the details, all the things. But actually, we find out that in 2010, she had talked about how she had cancer back then. But then we also find out about when she was younger, she talks about how she had lupus. Okay, so it's like, wow, you've really gone through some shit, girl. So then she ends up, she's married to this guy. And
now a word from our sponsors.
All right, if you love smoothies or if you love your protein in the morning, you need to get you a Blend Jet. You can do that if going to blendjet.com. If you enter the code BHH12, you get a discount. And let me tell you, these things are portable. They are easy to use. They can fit in your cup holder. You can have it at home or you can have it in your office like I do. Right this morning, I had my blueberry banana one
how was
with
it?
some chia seed.
Wasn't chunky or anything?
It was very smooth. When I have it in my shaker, it is a little chunky. So this is a great alternative.
I love it.
It is battery powered, so all you have to do is plug it in every 2 weeks, and the battery never runs down.
Oh my gosh, I love battery powered things.
Go to BlendJet and order you a BlendJet and get a discount.
Thanks, April, for sharing.
Did you know you could be putting oil and chemicals in your coffee? I love coffee creamer, but I don't think I've ever turned the bottle around to actually see what's inside. When I did, I found out many of my favorite creamers contain ingredients I would never intentionally add to my coffee cup, like canola oil, dipotassium phosphate, and artificial flavors. Laird Superfood all started when big wave surfer Laird Hamilton needed morning fuel that could allow him to spend the entire day chasing the ultimate wave. He couldn't find anything in the market that met his ingredient standards, so made himself the ultimate plant-based creamer. Laird Superfood started and launched its first product, Original Superfood Creamer, in 2015. Laird Superfoods contain no artificial flavors, colors, or additives, and no sugars from highly refined corn syrup. All Laird products are sustainably sourced and thoroughly tested to ensure that you're incorporating the cleanest, finest fuel into your routine. All Laird products are also made of all-natural whole food ingredients, and they are crafted from the highest quality all-natural real food ingredients. Are you ready to feel more energized, focused, and supported? Go to lairdsuperfood.com and add nourishing plant-based foods to fuel you from sunrise to sunset. Use our promo code BOO at checkout to save 15% off your purchase today.
Corey was originally married to Alita.
Yeah.
Corey and Alita had 2 kids.
Okay.
Jamie and Jessa, of which one of those kids had cancer.
Okay.
So then they were hiring Amanda, SCAMANDA, because I will not call her Amanda. I need to call her SCAMANDA. So they hire SCAMANDA. She's about 18 years old. And they were like, oh, she can like take him to gymnastics and swimming. And she's kind of like a source of light. And she's like bubbly. And she's like a good like personality and blah, blah, blah. And so that's how SCAMANDA gets folded into this whole family situation. And then we are assuming that she sees how much attention that the daughter with cancer is getting. Okay. And she learned a lot about cancer. And she eventually ends up with Corey.
Okay.
And by the way, Corey is 12 years older than Amanda.
Okay.
So if SCAMANDA is 18
right now,
when they meet, and Corey is 12 years older,
don't ask me to do the math.
30, 18 plus 12.
20, yeah, it's 30. You're right.
So that's quite the difference. So then, I don't know if she gives good BJs or what. I don't know, but he's 30, she's 18. They're married, 2 kids, so the whole thing. So they get they divorce, whatever, and then SCAMANDA and Corey get together.
Okay. That's
how this family situation happened. And not only did that happen, but then like SCAMANDA's starting the blog, and she's starting to talk about all these things and everything, and all this stuff is happening. And she, has this terminal cancer, like it's horrible. So then they start going to church, the family. And they don't go to any regular church. They go to this mega church. So it's called Family Community Church in San Jose. And it's huge, hundreds and hundreds of people at the sermon. And SCAMANDA basically becomes a local celebrity because she starts talking about her cancer story. And she has this blog. And she's not just like, she is you would think she's a writer. She has researched this. She knows what she's talking about. And she knows every single little thing about cancer. She knows everything about treatment. She knows everything, the things. If
somebody reads it, they won't question her. She wants to be very believable.
Yes, she's very, very, very believable. So she kind of becomes this local celebrity. She's very influential. She talks about her cancer. She becomes a member of this church, and she gets to where she's on the stage and talking about it. So I think it's more of like a
Joel Osteen.
Yeah, maybe like a hairspray, kind of something where you like are on stage and you have a microphone and you're talking
Your testimony.
Yeah, you're giving your testimony. And so she talks about her
Oh,
cancer.
so she's lying about it in the church house.
Oh, yes. Talking about her cancer battles, talking about how like many people need to pray over her, donate to her. They start doing this. They make her food. They do all this stuff. Because she has this blog where she has these links to where they can donate and they can, either GoFundMe, Venmo, whatever. They can bring your food. They can do this. They can do that. Whatever.
Meal trains.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this investigative journalist, Nancy Muscatello. Nancy Muscatello. She became involved in this situation in 2015. So all of the blog and everything started in 2012. Nancy's started in 2015. She got an anonymous email from somebody about Amanda. And they sent her the blog. They sent her some photos and some other things. And they were like, I feel like she's faking this. And I think she's manipulating people. And I don't think this is real. And I know that you are an investigative journalist. And I just want to give you all this information and do with it what you will. But I think that she is a liar and she's faking it. And please research it. Everything. So this lady's like, okay. So it's 2015 and the blog started in 2012. So she's a couple years behind and she has to go. And this Scamanda, like when she blogs, this bitch blogs. Like she's long and she's detailed and she's descriptive and she's just like over exaggerated and just is like gross. It's just gross.
I can't even read people's long posts.
No. And she's like, it's what did she say? The Nancy lady said it was full of information that it was several years of heart-wrenching words, pictures of her going to facilities, of her traveling, pictures of her in the ER, family gatherings, tears, all kinds of stuff. And Nancy actually had been through her own cancer battle with her own family. So she kind of like thought back and she was like, okay, is this like similar to what I experienced with my family? And she just kind of kept some things in the back of her mind. But there was also this other girl. So Scamanda, her name is Amanda Riley. Mm-hmm. There was also this other girl named Amanda Riley who was a 17-year-old girl who lost her battle with cancer in 2010. So this was 2 years before Scamanda started her blog. So that there was a foundation that was started in the name of the deceased Amanda. And so now there was kind of like a mix-up and you can hear this. You can hear all the details about it in the podcast. But they are like, it was a mix-up, but it was a terminal miracle. Like, I don't know. They call it terminal miracle. So Nancy is all over this case. So she's researching, she's doing all the things.
Deep dive.
She is DTF and she is deep diving. And she decides that she's like, she believes that this girl is faking this cancer. So she calls a detective. She calls the police. She was like, I'm so appalled by what this lady is doing to her community because she has this blog. She's getting donations. She's doing all of these things. And so she calls this guy, Jose Martinez, and he's the detective on the case. So he doesn't, it kind of takes a while. She is like really persistent over and over and over to get like, hey, like look into this. And she sent him the blog, sent him the pictures because she has pictures of herself in the hospital with the IV. She has pictures of herself with the oxygen tank. She has pictures of herself with ports on and this, and she shaved her head and she has beanies on and everything.
I know somebody's done this.
Oh, So
wow.
sending the stuff, she sends the stuff to this detective Jose, and so he starts to investigate. He goes to this church. Now this church is like a mega church, but he's like, how will I infiltrate this church? Because this is a mega church, and he can't just be this random guy who shows up and is like, oh, she's faking cancer. You can't just say somebody's faking cancer.
No, you got to have hard evidence.
You can't just, and plus it's like, apparently she was so like sweet and just like had this smile and this story. She was just a very good storyteller.
That's why you should doubt everything.
Oh, I do. But apparently, Charlie Wilson, who's the one who was the person who narrates she's the British person who narrates the whole thing, and does the podcast. She is not wanting. She doesn't want this podcast out there to be necessarily like, don't doubt everything you hear. Well, I already do.
Listen, there's somebody that I just met in my life right now on crutches, and I'm doubting. It's so horrible that I have to like pray about it. I'm just like, does she really need crutches? Or what is this? That's how my mind goes, and I have to like talk myself down and pray for empathy. I have to pray for empathy. Because I'm just like,
I think you should just keep doubting it, because that bitch faking it.
But I was right with one. I'm going to take this part out. We had a coach, because it's still kind of ongoing, that said he had cancer. Okay. There was fundraisers. He was on the news. He lost a ton of weight. He shaved his hair. He would post pictures of hospital gowns and things saying this chemo treatment, like literally all of this. He got FMLA. He couldn't coach anymore, but they still let him keep his coaching stipend. Like all of the
what do
things
you do
for
with somebody who
years,
has cancer?
Years. Guess what? Those pictures were from the methadone clinic. He lost his teeth because it was pills and meth. And he was
Wait, he lost his teeth? You don't lose your teeth from chemo.
That's why in the beginning, I said, that ain't no damn cancer. And
see, you always know, so I am not ever
I don't know how Brad's deals got me, but from the beginning, and then I prayed that I doubted him. I was like, Lord, I don't know. Why do I got to doubt everybody? And then
because
guess what?
Exactly.
All a lie. And he worked for a whole new district just fine. Got his weight coming back. He's coaching just fine.
I think you can keep that in. So Nancy contacted Jose, and she's persistent, and she gave him the blogs, the photos, and all this stuff, and he starts to investigate. He goes to the church, and he's like, oh, shit, this church is huge. I don't know how I'm going to infiltrate this. And he was like, wow, I didn't realize the scale that this scam was on, because he basically is like, she's getting on the stage of this church, talking about her story, telling them about her cancer, and they're all they're all falling for it, and they're all donating to her, and they're all like supporting her and believing her, because who doesn't believe somebody who has cancer? Of course, I don't ever donate to people because I'm like, I'm not donating to anybody's GoFundMe. I'll donate to no, I don't even donate to anything because I just don't believe anybody. Well, that's
you actually believe everybody.
I know I do,
that just
but
means
I
you're
do believe
stingy.
everybody, but I don't donate
money.
to anybody because
the people that donate. That's what got me about the Carly when they wanted their money back. Is like, you give out of your heart, you'll get your blessings, right? So why do they? If you take your money back, you don't take that blessing back. So who gives a shit if you give the money to a homeless person and they go buy alcohol?
Oh yeah,
or
I've definitely never given money to a homeless person.
But it's not the people's fault that donated. So I'm just taking up for them. It's the people's fault that took advantage of it.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I'm your puzzle pal, and I'm going to tell you about my latest obsession, Wongo puzzles. These things are the real deal, folks. They're high quality, handcrafted, and perfect for anyone who loves a good challenge, but doesn't want to dedicate their entire kitchen table to puzzles for a week. Trust me, I've been there. I might still be there. But I got one of these actually for Christmas. I loved it. I did it, and I was so proud of myself. And they have all these cool designs, and you need to go to wongopuzzles.com and use our discount, BHH. You get 10% off. And I really want to know, if you'll order one of these puzzles, what you think about it, because it's so fun, and I need to order like 5.
Cure hydration. If you are obsessed with your hydration like I am, this may be something good for you. This is something that is so easy. Forget about the Gatorade. That just dehydrates you even more. And if you don't like the taste of coconut water, try Cure Hydration. You can go to my offer link. It is zen.ai/BHH20. This is vegan, no added sugars. It's just a little packet you could put in your water. Or if you're really smart during happy hour, you could put it into your Tito's. It is just as effective as an IV drip. And if you do not like the taste of water, it's not as boring as water, not as sugary as the sports drink. And if you're an athlete, it'll give you the best performance. Or if you just get brain fog or headaches because you do not stay hydrated.
Brain frog?
Brain fog. The solution is Cure Hydration. So go to that link, enter the code. You can go to my offer link. It is zen.ai/BHH20. Cure Hydration.
So there, not only did she do all of this stuff, but she had people who were giving her money, giving her gifts, giving her childcare, giving her this. But she had this one lady who was donating her plasma. And this lady who was donating like platelets and plasma and all of the whatever she could.
Now that pisses me off.
Yes. And this lady became one of her good friends. And she was donating as much as she could, so much so that the clinic told her she had to stop donating because she was going to run out of them or something. Go listen for more details, but that's the truth.
She's going to run out of what?
Platelets or plasma. But listen, so this,
she's going to run out of blood.
I think her name is Lindsay. So they're sitting by each other at church, and she's so convincing. So they're sitting by each other at church, and while they're at church, she meaning Scamanda, is like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling a little like I'm feeling really hot. I need to go get a drink of water. And so she goes to get a drink of water, and the girl, Lindsay, who's donated all this plasma, is like, okay, well, like, yeah, go get some water. And like, I don't think she goes with her, but she's like sitting right next to her at church. And then all of a sudden, Scamanda faints.
What?
And she faints and she pees herself.
I mean,
not only does she do that, so she said she started to feel hot and sweaty. She went to get a drink of water. She walked off. She falls on the floor. She pees her pants. The sermon immediately stops. The pastor gets off the stage. Everyone starts circling around her, starts praying over her. Hundreds of people, because this is a mega church, and apparently peeing her pants and blogging about it was her go-to, because she peed her pants not only in church, but she peed her pants when she was at the park with her kids, and she peed her pants at work. And
I do that all the time too. I don't blog about it.
Well, and each time she was hot and needed water, so she was really dedicated at peeing her pants and being hot and needing water. But when the whole church thing happened, they called the ambulance. She peed her pants, fainted, ambulance is called. She gets taken in the ambulance. She gets driven to the hospital. She's in the hospital. So she is like, I mean, you got to pay for the ambulance. But if she's not paying for it because, you know, she's getting all these donations from the church and everything. So what's the point?
I'd have to stop going to that church because I'd be in the church doubting everything, and I wouldn't even be getting the good word.
Yeah, but at this point, they still don't even doubt it.
How does being hot and thirsty make you pee your pants? It's actually opposite. Like your body would save your urine.
Oh, exactly. That's why we think that she just would, when she was thirsty, she went and got water and she splattered it on herself, and then that's when she peed her pants.
I was like, if this bitch was just pushing urine out, she's dedicated. She ought to get all that money.
Yeah. So then her blog had a support page, which included it talked about her battle with cancer, and oh my gosh. Okay, it goes into her family. So what she did was, so she's married to Corey. Corey is Alita is the stepmom. Yeah. Right. Alita. So they have Alita and Corey have 2 kids. One of them had cancer, one of them didn't. Jessa is important in the story. This girl named Jessa. Jessa is Alita and Corey's daughter.
Okay.
So Scamanda is like, starts to not like Alita, which is baby mama. She does not like baby mama because baby mama starts thinking like something's up with you. She's onto her game. She doesn't believe her. She doesn't know. She actually contacts the investigative journalist, and they start going back and forth having a conversation about what's going on. And then,
so now 2 people have contacted the same investigative journalist?
Yes.
It's always the women.
And so then Scamanda starts to turn Jessa, one of the kids, against her mom, Alita.
Okay.
So we have the Jessa's the daughter, and so then there's this huge custody battle. So now they're trying to get, Corey and Scamanda are trying to get custody of Jessa from Alita. And so they do. Because they're saying that she's unfit and she's like a bad mom and she doesn't like, she's terrible.
That's not easy to do though.
I know. So I don't know why it was so easy, because it was like she had custody of, they got custody of Jessa for a whole year. And I would think there's not much information on on Bio Mom, so I don't know what they had against her besides, I mean, there has to be something, but it wasn't released in the podcast. So after all this, they get custody of the kid. Then she's like in the podcast, Jessa is like, she's having to take care of Scamanda, and she's having to watch Scamanda and Corey end up having like 2 other kids. They have 2 boys, and they have a miracle baby because, you know, Scamanda was in remission, out of remission, in remission, out of remission. She ended up getting cancer 4 different times. Like, it kept coming back.
So what happened? But did she ever have a baby? She'd had babies, right?
Yes, she had what she called a miracle baby.
She made sure that she was pregnant when she didn't have cancer, so that the doctor couldn't negate her story, right? Oh,
yes.
Because she knew she was going to be going to the doctor and getting blood taken and, you know, all this
and
stuff.
There was never really a doctor because she never really had cancer.
But her OB-GYN doctor, her vagina,
right.
So they would have to know if she had cancer.
Which
they
knew she didn't because she didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why she had kids in remission time.
Yes.
Because she knew that would get her caught, like, conveniently.
And that's why but the thing is that's so crazy about it is because she blogs in detail. She talks, and some people even thought she was like an oncologist, like she worked at an oncologist clinic. And I think she actually told people at one time that she did, but really she learned all this stuff about cancer because her stepdaughter is the one that had the cancer. So that's how she learned. But so it sounds like she's really smart, and she is well spoken, and basically a very manipulative bitch.
They always
Can just as good at talking, which don't ever come. If you're good at talking and manipulative, don't talk to me. So I'll believe it all.
Caroline would make her first GoFundMe.
Oh, I would be
donation.
like, oh, how much you need, girl? I'll give you $5. Hell no, I'm going to go buy some shoes. So, eventually, her scheme is discovered. So, okay, there's, and I'll go back in a second and tell you about, because it's, a lot of people are like, she posted all these pictures. She posted pictures of herself in the hospital. She posted pictures of herself with the IV. She posted pictures everywhere. But like, how are you getting these pictures?
Photoshopped.
And
She's probably at the hospital with the little girl.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Photoshopped.
No. So, her scheme was discovered in 2019 when the IRS charged her with wire fraud.
Why?
Because not only was she collecting money from, they were giving her food, they were providing babysitting, they were giving, paying for her to go take her flight, because I don't even think I got to the flight to New York. She said that she was a part of this, special treatment that was going on in New York. Like she had to go to New York and come back and there and back and
like
there
this
and
clinical
back.
trial.
Yes. And hang on. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. That's my Q&A. But yes, so she had to go back and forth, and she's part of this clinical trial, and she had all of that paid for. They gave food, they would babysit, they would pay for her to go to concerts, they would pay for her to a bunch of things that weren't necessarily like cash donations, but what they had was anything, like she had a GoFundMe. So anything that was credit card or GoFundMe or anything over the wire, aka online, aka the internet, that is what is considered fraud.
Because she didn't
or
claim
wire
it?
fraud. No, because it's over the wire.
Okay.
So if I give you cash,
Oh.
if I give you cash, I'm like, you're sick of cancer, I give you cash, you don't get charged for wire fraud. If you say you're sick with cancer and I send you a $20 Venmo, that's wire fraud.
Mm-hmm.
That would be you're claiming fraudulent accounts from me, but it's transaction over the wire, over the internet, over online.
So why did they charge her with this?
Because after the detective and the Nancy lady had all this information, they were like, they brought her to court. They had a whole thing, and she finally admitted and she pled guilty.
Okay.
So she pleads guilty, but her speech isn't necessarily remorseful. But she does plead guilty, and they're like, okay, the maximum, like her people are asking for 6 months. The defendants are asking for like 18 months. Okay. But the total amount that she scammed from everybody was about $105,000.
Damn.
Okay.
But it's over a long period of time.
Yeah, exactly. Which over 7 years isn't that long.
Mm-mm.
But that's only including the stuff that's wired.
Yeah.
So that's not including
The acts of service and the cash and the gifts, like the tickets and stuff that was given, all the food.
Yes. So there were some questions. Let me look. So I watched, there was a Nancy Grace episode that I listened to. There, she went, the Charlie Wilson, the girl who is the podcast, narrating the podcast. She went on Megyn Kelly, and then she was on something else that I listened to. Oh, True Crime Society.
SCAMANDA did, or who did?
The person who
Journalist.
the people who did produce the podcast.
Oh, okay.
I listened to 3 different episodes of.
Okay.
So it's they're interviewing everywhere. So, yes, wire fraud includes the GoFundMe. The other donations that were not included in that amount of $105,000 were in-kind donations, food, babysitting, cash, swim lessons, tennis lessons, trips, concert tickets, and the lady who gave the plasma. So the Nancy lady estimated it to be around maybe an extra $80,000. So the one of the questions was, how did she pull off the photos? Like, how do you just, because that's, I mean, you can't, you question somebody who has like pictures of themselves in the hospital and they're like, oh, I'm sick and I'm dying with cancer.
Maybe she was at a methadone clinic too.
She posted all these pictures with her shaved head. She was at this medical center, and the medical center was where she had traveled. So she said she traveled across the country to meet up with these experts. And in this area, this was when she went to New York. Okay. So she's like, oh, went to New York. She would fly back and forth to New York. She said she was part of this clinical trial. And the way that they were able to get information on it. First of all, you can go into an ER and you can say, oh, I'm dehydrated or I feel faint, and they will just put stuff in you, and then you can be in a hospital bed. You can take a picture. It's easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So that can happen. But this part of where she's flying back and forth to New York and she's in part of this like clinical trial is a little different. But Nancy did a lot of investigating, and she had to go back to the blog. She read the blog. She got the facts of the blog. Then she called this hospital in New York, and it's very hard because HIPAA, actual HIPAA, not Hitman HIPAA, but she can't necessarily be like, hey, is Amanda C. Riley there and getting treatment? No, she can't say that. But what she did was she got the facts from the blog. This bitch is smart.
DTF.
She's DTF. And she said, do you have a patient there who is, wait. Oh, here it is. She would call a facility and she would say, do you have anybody coming in today for treatment who had a lung collapse? Because apparently in the blog, she talked about having a lung collapse. And the hospital would say, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And then she would say, and then I guess they would go on to say that they had nobody that was coming in for a treatment for that specific thing that she was asking for, and that they were not administering a specific drug that SCAMANDA had referenced in the blog, that she was getting the drug from that hospital.
Okay.
So
she figured out a way to get some information.
So that was her way to get around HIPAA with not saying her actual name. So while Amanda is claiming, like, here I am, here's me with my IV, blah, 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 Nancy was able to fact check the facts with the facility, not about her, but about them in general.
Yeah.
And that's how she was able to basically crack this case.
But how do you bring that to the police? Like, how is that evidence to bring to the police?
You gotta go listen to the SCAMANDA podcast to find it all out. And
is this a form of Munchausen?
I believe
it's not by proxy, but this has to be like a form of auto Munchausen because you like the attention that you get from it, and that's what you're addicted to, and all the gifts and all.
Did I play this yet?
In kind.
Past 3 years.
Hang on, let me play this.
I've been fighting stage 4 blood cancer for the past 3 years, to the point that doctors don't want to treat me anymore. They developed a new drug, immunotherapy, and they wanted to give it a try on me. We'd been warring and praying and fundraising, and the doctor, told me, I like your positivity, but you need to understand that in your situation, this drug working would be like rain in California.
What? This dumb bitch. Y'all need to go listen.
So did she have family?
I got one more thing to play for you. And this is what the host. This is from Lionsgate is the host of this thing. Okay, this is from Charlie Webster, who's the creator of this podcast, and it's funny because she calls her out.
Nice to meet you. I'm a stage 4 refractory blood cancer patient. I'm still a patient. I'm a 4-time relapse. I'm in a clinical trial right now. I still have active cancer. Technically a survivor too. I'm in the hospital a lot of the time. So I'm traveling to New York for my clinical trial. No, I'm a terminal patient. I'm in a clinical trial just trying to buy more time. I have a website, so anybody interested in learning more about my story, just supportamanda.com. So anybody who wants to go on there and follow my story and root me on, I love prayers and happy thoughts, and anything helps.
Bye, bitch. Bye.
Here's my red flag. People who are sick don't want to be victims, usually, right?
Yeah.
So when
no,
you
but
really,
she is.
That's the red flag. Is when you're you're smiling about this, and you want to be a victim, and you want to tell everybody how horrible things are. It's always my red flag, because usually you don't want to be a victim. Who wants that?
So the thing is like you said, $105,000 isn't a lot of money over 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like $12,000 a year, I think. I don't know. So in this case, it's not always about the money. It's about the attention. It's about having people sing your praises. It's about, what else is it about?
The attention.
I think it's all. Yeah, I mean, you just want you just want people to feel sorry for you, and you want attention, and you want to be catered to.
The smile that she had,
and
on
you
her
want
face.
and plus she beat it so many times. She wants to be looked at as oh my gosh, you're amazing, you beat it, and you're connected, and
you
got
beat it
this and this and this, and oh my gosh, you're such a fighter, and blah blah blah. Well, this bitch, I should play what the judge said to her, but you can go listen to it. She was, even though she was, the maximum that they were asking for was going to be 18 months. This judge was not having it.
Okay.
This judge did not like anything that she said. And I'm assuming this judge has probably had somebody close to her who had cancer.
Yeah.
Actual cancer. And by the way, this Amanda never even she pled guilty, but she never really.
She wasn't.
No, she
sorry.
wasn't at all. So what she did, they lived in California. She pled guilty. They moved to Texas. Get out of here. They moved near Austin.
Mm-hmm.
She was back in hospitals after
when she got out of jail, or what?
No.
What?
So
when?
she pled guilty.
And then she left.
But I think it was the time in between her trial or her sentencing phase that they moved, and she was back in hospitals. And then they finally red flagged her because they're oh, SCAMANDA. And then she was sentenced to 60 months,
Oh.
which is 5 years in prison.
And how long did she do this?
And she said
7
over and
years.
over, like, so she said she was always sick, and that's why she still had to go to the hospital when they moved in Austin. So they're like, okay, bitch, we're gonna put you in prison for 5 years, and we're gonna see how your cancer does then.
Yeah.
How's your cancer really doing then?
Wait, did her husband stay with her this whole time?
Listen, the husband is a whole different story because he says he did not know a thing about it, even though he took her to all her appointments. So we think that he knew about it, but
Didn't want to know.
no, we think he knew, and we think he knew, and we think there's something sketch with her mom, and for all those details, it was an 8-part. I think it was 6 episodes, but now and then they added bonus episode after bonus episode. It's called SCAMANDA. It was trending #1 for forever, but I had to cover it because it was so good. And I posted it a couple of times on our Instagram, and people were like all over it. They were commenting on it. They were like, "Oh my gosh, I listened to a little bit of this. Tell me about." So I want to talk about it, and then I want to know what y'all think about it, and if you've ever experienced anything similar, or have you ever been scammed? Besides, April's been scammed. We know that she was just scammed today or yesterday with her.
You've been scammed?
I've been scammed. I want to know who has not been scammed.
Oh my goodness!
I'm about to be scammed by going to I gotta go to the bathroom. About to be scammed by the bathroom.
Yeah, I gotta pee too. But this is ridiculous. Like, you don't play with your health. You don't play with sicknesses like that. And then when she does get real cancer, nobody's gonna give a shit.
Oh, it's the boy that cried wolf. But like, for you to be that low, I mean, this is lower. I feel like this is lower than like Dirty Chad. Like, if you're faking cancer, like, you are bored. Like, but she obviously was a good writer, so why not like
put that energy in something else?
But these people crave the attention. That's like the Dirty Chad. They crave the attention. They can't just be low key. They have to have this attention. Yeah. They just have to have it. That's what they crave. That's what they get off on. It's like their porn. Just go to Pornhub and you don't have to worry about all that.
Oh, goodness. That was a good story. I might have to listen to
You will have to listen to it because it's really good. And I'm
mad at the husband for still sticking with it. And the mama, because the mama will know. Like, the mama knows, right? So she should have called her bullshit a long time ago.
No, she did. She did.
Oh, okay.
Mama did. Go listen to it and you'll hear more about it. Alita was pissed. That's why but I don't know how the kid was taken away from her. They were framed like
Amanda's mama.
Yeah. She's shady. She's shady.
So the two closest people that should be in your life, your mama and your husband, or that may know you the most, right?
Yeah.
They would know. And so if they didn't say anything.
Oh, yeah. They all in on it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. There's a scam for you. Nobody died. There was no blood. But a good story with some twists and turns. I might start on the way home.
You should.
I do know somebody, though, that has gone that far about a sickness like that and just lied and gotten things out of it and completely.
It's just so much work.
And it was drugs the whole time. So, and she didn't even have an excuse. This person was at least trying to cover up their drug addiction with their fake illness.
You know what? I hate people.
Their pictures were real. She's in a methadone clinic. Okay, y'all. We will see y'all next time. Share this episode with a couple people. Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Never trust anybody.
Ever.
Always doubt people.
Doubt.
Bye, y'all.
Everybody has a story worth telling. I'm Corey Duncan. On Best Story Ever, I take guests that you know through their most unique and captivating stories. The best part? I hear the story for the first time when you do. Everyone has a story. What's yours? Find Best Story Ever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Hola, yo soy Jackie.
Y yo soy Jessica.
Y esto es Zona del Crimen. Un podcast donde hablaremos sobre casos de crímenes reales
y eventos impactantes que han quedado marcados a través del tiempo. Recuerden que nos pueden seguir en Facebook, Instagram
o donde escuches tus podcasts favoritos.
Hey, I'm Blair.
And I'm Brittany. And we're the host of
By the Cover Podcast.
We cover everything from mysteries, thrillers, romance, chick lit, and even some smut.
Don't forget the smut.
Yeah.
We're so excited to get this thing going and share this with you guys. We've been talking about this for months, and it's finally happening.
Yes.
Special shout out to Rogue Media for helping us with this.
For sure. You can find us on Instagram at bythecover_podcast.
You can also find us on Facebook and TikTok, so don't forget to give us a follow on those two also.
And we are so excited to dive into some of our favorite books and share those with you.
We can't wait. Hope you love it.
Hi, and welcome to Bustles and Bangers with your hostess, Rachel and Christopher.
I love it when you say my name.
And you didn't say hi.
I didn't. You just kept going. I'm going to introduce the book. I'm not reading it.
It's
because I don't like reading.
Girls like cowboy butts, and those jeans don't hide anything. Find us on Instagram at Bustles and Bangers or on RogueMediaNetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.